What is up, WWE Universe, and welcome, wrestling fans, to my WWE show review on Tim Reynolds Show, as I'm reviewing the Friday Night SmackDown from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, where we would see this show kicked off with the legend killer, Randy Orton, as the Viper would return to Friday Night SmackDown to address the crowd, and WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, after his controversial decision last week to team up with Roman Reigns to take out the Bloodline at the premium live event Bad Blood. And we would see Randy Orton come out saying that he can count on one hand how many people in this industry he truly trusts. And Cody Rhodes is one of those people, but he is confused and needs an explanation as to why his friend would team up with Roman Reigns. And he would ask Cody Rhodes to come out and give him said explanation, and the WWE Champion would oblige, as the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, comes out and tells the Viper, the Legend Killer, that, hey, this legend rogue entity that is the Bloodline needs to be killed. And I hope you can understand that, Legend Killer Randy Orton, and I hope that we don't have a problem. And we would see Randy Orton shake the hand of Cody Rhodes after he extends it as a show of respect, and we would see these guys shake it with Randy saying, yes, there absolutely is no problem at all, Cody, unless you make it a problem. And then we would see these two interrupted by Kevin Owens, who comes out to hopefully give his opinion as to this matter, with his friend Cody Rhodes teaming up with Roman Reigns, one of his arch enemies. But we would see KO not even get a word out before these all three were interrupted by the Bloodline, where Solo Sikoa would come out to say that Randy Orton and Kevin Owens has done nothing but let Cody Rhodes down, saying, Cody, think of how long you've been battling against the Bloodline, and what have these two done for you? They've let you down around every corner and every turn, and that's why you have to team up with Roman Reigns in order to try to take us out. And we would see KO step up to the plate and offer a challenge to Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu to take them on in a tag team match later on that night in the main event. And Cody Rhodes would then say, hey, well, guess what? There's three of us in the ring here, and there's more than three of you there outside the ring. But he would be interrupted by KO, who would say, no, Cody, you got your match with your partner at Bad Blood already against these guys. Me and Randy Orton are going to take these guys out and prove to them that we are going to be the best team in the main event tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. A little controversy there at the end between two friends, Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, but hey, we now know it's official, as we're going to have a big primetime tag team match in the main event of Friday Night SmackDown. And then next up on the show, guys, we would have our first match of the evening, as we would see Bayley taking on Naomi, as this match would be for the #1 contendership for the Women's WWE Championship. And after last week's controversial ending, where we'd seen both of these superstars pin the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax, we would see an incredible matchup this one to decide who the #1 contender would be, and we would see Bayley defeats Naomi to win the #1 contendership for the WWE Women's Championship, as she will now take on Nia Jax at the premium live event Bad Blood. What an incredible match to kick off Friday Night SmackDown. And then next up after this, guys, we would see backstage, as we would see Andrade runs into the United States Champion himself, LA Knight, and Andrade would say, hey man, last week I tried to extend my hand out to shake your hand to show a sign of respect after our incredible match last week, but you gave me a fist bump instead of shaking my hand. Where I'm from, you shake people's hands to show respect, and since you didn't do that, I don't really respect you anymore, man. And LA Knight would go to respond to Andrade, but out of nowhere, Carmelo Hayes would come and attack LA Knight after it looked like maybe it was intended for Andrade, but LA Knight's the one who ends up getting knocked out from Carmelo Hayes, who then points at Andrade and says, you're next. And that would actually be our next match of the night on Friday Night SmackDown, as we would see Andrade, who leads the series against Carmelo Hayes in this rivalry for the past few months, 3-2, as we would see these two battle it out in an incredible match full of athleticism, as they left everything inside the square circle. But we would see LA Knight come out near the end of this match to look to get some of his revenge and some payback against Carmelo Hayes, but this would cause a distraction, which actually cost Andrade the win after he rolled up Carmelo Hayes, but the ref was not counting, as he was taking care of and pointing at LA Knight. And then of course Carmelo Hayes would take advantage of the LA Knight distraction and get the victory over Andrade to even the series 3-3 in this rivalry with Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. But we would see a big controversy at the end of this one, as Andrade was not too pleased with LA Knight pushing and shoving and getting all in his face and yelling and screaming about the fact that he just cost him this match. And then we would see later on WWE social media that these two would actually get into a fight backstage, attacking one another, as we may now see a triple threat match, as the LA Knight, the United States States champion may have to defend his title against two competitors, as this now is a rivalry that's boiling over with all these three involved. This is a crazy Friday Night SmackDown. And then next up after this, guys, we would see backstage Kevin Owens and Randy Orton getting ready in the locker room for their matchup in the main event. And they would see Cody Rhodes come into the locker room, as Cody Rhodes would say to Kevin Owens, I see we have a problem here, man, and we need to talk. But Kevin Owens would say, yeah, Cody, we need to talk, but we're not talking tonight. Not now, man. I have a match in like 30 minutes. I got to get ready. And Rhodes would say, no, pushing back, saying we need to talk if we got a problem. And KO would get up, getting very offended and stern, saying, I said no, dude. We're not talking tonight. I got a match to get ready for. And we would see Randy Orton have to get involved and separate these two. And we would see KO go, look, I'm going to go get ready for my match and get my gear on. Cody, don't even bother coming out there today, man. Just let me and Randy Orton take care of this and handle it, okay? And as Kevin Owens walked out, we would see Randy Orton address the WWE champion and tell Cody that, hey, look, I don't know what's going on with Kevin O or how he feels, but I know that the bloodline may come out there and try to use the numbers game against us. So if they do that, I hope that you will have our back and come out there. I'm going to go talk to KO and make sure he's okay. Really a big controversy here between KO and Cody Rhodes, as they're having some problems in their friendship. And then we would see next up on Friday Night SmackDown, we find out AJ Styles is returning to Friday Night SmackDown next week, and we have a lot of big lineup, big matches in store for next week's Friday Night SmackDown, as we would also find out that we will have a triple threat ladder match for the WWE Tag Team Championships, as the champions, the Bloodline, will defend their titles with the titles suspended above the ring in a triple threat ladder match with two other teams, DIY and the Street Profits, having a chance to win the WWE Championships. What an incredible match this is going to be next week, as the lineup card is getting stacked, as we also see a lineup card thing after this next match, which is Michin taking on Piper Niven, where Piper Niven would try to use her friend Chelsea Green to help her out in this matchup and distract the referee, but we would see this backfire and actually go to the benefit of Michin, who gets the victory over Piper Niven in this one. And we find out that next week we will see a dumpster match between Michin and Chelsea Green, the first dumpster match in WWE since before the internet was born. So crazy lineup for next week's Friday Night SmackDown. And then we're moving on to our next thing, guys, here, as we see backstage Naomi running into Bayley, where Bayley was trying to apologize and show respect after their incredible match earlier that day, saying she didn't really want to beat Naomi or do that to her, but Naomi would say, nah, come on, girl, you wanted to beat me, I know you did, but hey, you go out there, you got the number one contendership, now go handle your business against Nia Jax. And we'd see these two show each other respect, and as Naomi was walking away, we would see Tiffany Stratton come and confront her and talk some smack, saying, hey, now you can sit back in the stands and watch as your friend gets destroyed by Nia Jax, my friend, next week on Friday, or at Bad Blood, she should say. And she said, well, okay, well, since Nia is battling Bayley, and that means you don't have anything going on, we would see Naomi challenge Tiffany Stratton to a match next week on Friday Night SmackDown, after we already seen earlier that Stratton was being confronted by the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax, who gave her a kind of cryptic warning, saying if she was to lose the WWE Women's Champion, guess who's next on her list? Yep, that's right, it's probably going to be Stratton. Ooh, man, what controversy here on Friday Night SmackDown. And then next up after this, guys, we would see the main event of the night. We would see the main event of the night, as Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, Team RKO, would team up to take on the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, and the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, in a crazy main event match that, man, we would see these teams leave it all inside of the ring, including seeing vintage Randy Orton as he was doing a back body drop to the table, the commentator's table, and we would see him do that to Jacob Fatu multiple times after Jacob Fatu got up from the first one. And guess what? The Viper came right back at him, delivering a fight just as if he was KO, delivering more back body drops on the commentator's table. And then we would see vintage Randy Orton in the ring, and also Kevin Owens fighting everybody, fighting Solo Sikoa. And man, at the end of this match, we would see the Bloodline of course, the rest of the members come out to the ring and get involved and try to interfere in this matchup. But Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, would have the back of his friends KO and Randy Orton as he fights off the bloodline to help out these two. But we would see some controversy at the end as KO would deliver a stunner to Solo Sikoa, with Solo Sikoa out in the middle of the ring. But one of the bloodline members would throw the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, into the back of the referee, hurting the referee's leg as he falls down into the ring and doesn't make the 3 count when Kevin Owens has Solo Sikoa pinned in the middle of the ring. And also, all KO could see was that Solo Sikoa, after he got pinned, KO could see that Cody Rhodes was the one that ran into the referee, and he was all pissed off. What are you doing? What is going on here? And then, out of nowhere, the bloodline would take advantage of this distraction from the American Nightmare as Solo Sikoa delivers a Samoan spike right to KO, and the referee crawls over to make the 1, 2, 3 count as we would see Solo Sikoa get the victory over KO. And man, guys, we had some big controversy here as Kevin Owens was pissed off at the WWE champion Cody Rhodes for his involvement in this matchup, as it seems to cost him and Randy Orton the win here, as the bloodline are able to get the victory after Cody Rhodes gets pushed into the referee. Referee gets knocked down. Kevin Owens doesn't get the 3 count after the stunner, and man, he was not too happy about it. But Randy Orton seemed to calm things down a little bit before the show went off air, as we see Kevin Owens was able to hug it out just a little bit there with the WWE champion. But man, I'm telling you guys right now, this is just the hunch from Tim Reynolds' show that I do think we're starting to see a possible heel turn for either Kevin Owens or the WWE champion himself, Cody Rhodes. That's right. Tim Reynolds' show is predicting we could see a heel turn from the American Nightmare himself. Who knows when this is going to happen, but man, this is definitely one to keep your eye out for, as this has been your WWE show review from Tim Reynolds Show. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more WWE show reviews and sports entertainment content right here on Tim Reynolds Show. And if you made it to the end of this video, I just want you to know you're awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You guys are the shit, and thank you for following my channel and helping me follow my dream to be a YouTuber on this sports entertainment channel right here on Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and thank you for checking out Tim Reynolds Show's WWE show review. Please guys hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of my show and also what you thought of Friday Night SmackDown. And hey, I'd love to hear you guys' feedback, and thank you so much for helping support Tim Reynolds Show. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.